Hello, ladies, and welcome to another episode of the Autoimmune Rehab Podcast, where, as always, you can find episodes and show notes at autoimmunerehab.com. I hope you guys are doing well and benefiting from all the different podcast episodes. If so, I'd really appreciate it if you would either rate or review this podcast on iTunes. Also, share, subscribe, follow, and all the things so that you make sure you stay tuned. I have some really exciting guests and different topics that will be coming up, and including an interview with a hypnotist that will be coming sometime in the next couple months. And so for today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about something that is probably something that never really occurred to you. And I know it didn't occur to me till after I'd already been diagnosed with my Hashimoto's and after I'd already had it for a few years and been struggling with it. And it's some information that I just kind of stumbled across somewhat by accident. And that is the topic of toxins that maybe or that probably are in your bed. And I know some of you are already thinking, what? I have toxins in my bed? And yes, the reality is that you very likely have toxins in your bed and your mattress, in addition to, toxins in skincare and makeup and other things that are a little more obvious, the things that are more publicized. And so today I'm going to be talking with you about the how and why you may possibly have toxins in your bed, what to do about it, give you some recommendations, share with you the kind of bed and mattress that I switched to almost a year ago now. I actually got the bed right before I had knee surgery, which was in March of 2022, and we're coming up really soon here on March of 2023. Okay, so to begin with, let me talk with you a little bit and share with you some of the main causes and things that happen when you have a toxic bed. So the first thing to think about is the chemicals that are used in the manufacturing of your mattress and other bedding. And this is something that I don't feel like is publicized enough, but the reality is that there are a lot of chemicals that can be really toxic to your health that get used in the manufacturing process of a lot of beds. And this is true of even some of the higher end beds that you've probably heard advertised on TV and radio, that kind of thing. I'm not going to mention names, but the reality is that just because it costs a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't toxins or chemicals used in the manufacturing process. The other thing too is they use non-organic materials, which, can have toxins, things like that. And then off-gassing from the mattress. And this is one of the bigger problems as well. And if you have at any point in time, gotten a new bed and then you immediately smell like off gassing or has a new mattress smell, if you will, a lot like what happens when you get a new car or if you smell the inside of a new car, that is the biggest problem. And a lot of this off-gassing is related to things like flame retardants, formaldehyde, benzene that have been in mattresses. And a lot of these things are really directly related to anything from different kinds of autoimmune disorders, which obviously is the topic of this podcast, as well as things like cancer, infertility, developmental brain disorders, all kinds of things. And if your mattress is off-gassing harmful chemicals, you're breathing in those toxins for hours every night. Yikes. And if you think about it too as well, in total we spend about a third of our life sleeping, so it's really important that you choose a mattress that doesn't have those things. And there is a lot to be said as well about even people, will brag about things like memory foam, for example, but a lot of those can actually contain what's called isocyanates, and even according to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, these compounds can off gas and there can be health risks that can be associated with those. So the first thing that I feel like you want to take a look at, if you feel like maybe your bed and your mattress is causing you a lot of problems, is to really start taking notice and be more conscious and aware of what happens when you sleep at night. Do you smell chemicals or any kind of like an off-gassing or anything coming from your mattress in your bed? And, you may have to take off the bedding to smell it, stick your nose directly on it to see, if you have any kind of a smell. Or, just be aware of what you feel like first thing in the morning. Or, if you're really struggling a lot with sleep, then it could potentially be your mattress. And I know for some of you, you may be listening to this and you're really struggling financially and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go get a new bed. Yes, you probably do. And I know some of you were just thinking there's just no way. Well, the reality is that if you're not sleeping at night or you have autoimmune conditions that are brought on by the toxins in your life and that your bed is part of that, you may have to seriously consider a new bed. And as I will explain to you a little bit later when I share with you the bed that I got, there actually are some really great options that have come on the market that are actually not any more expensive than getting a bed that typically has a lot of those toxins in it. And the advantage to that is that most of these different kinds of mattresses are the kind that you order online and they ship to you, and you can set it up pretty easily. You're going to probably want a second person on hand to help set it up. I know I had some help with, two different people really, but I also got my bed the night before I had double knee surgery. So, there's always that happening as well, so I was obviously not able to really do anything. If you're, in better physical health and physical shape, you probably can set it up with just help of maybe one other person. Okay, so couple of the symptoms that can be associated with what is called toxic mattress, and you can keep track of whether or not you feel like you have these. And just because you have these symptoms, I also want to advocate for and explain that that doesn't necessarily mean that these are caused by your mattress, but these are things that can be caused by your mattress. It would be headaches, muscle pain, frequent nausea, a lack of concentration, an itchy sore throat, a skin, nose, and eye irritation, chest tightness, and difficulty breathing. So, and a lot of these are caused by what is known as gaseous chemicals called VOCs, or volatile organic compounds. And these mainly come from the polyethylene used in the mattress, but also other chemicals used in flame retardants and plastics. And that is actually a direct quote from WebMD. So as you can see, between the WebMD citation and the Occupational Safety Association, other things like that, this is not just something that is coming from the angle of people who are, big tree huggers, really into organic things, or people that, really want to stand a profit off of you switching your bed. This is really, a mainstream thing, and it really surprises me at how many people are not aware of some of the dangers that either are or can be coming from a mattress that is toxic and has these things in it. So, what can you do if you're not sure if your bed is causing problems, and maybe you're not in a situation where you feel like you need a new bed right now, and so, you don't want to have to go spend the money to buy something that you're not sure you need? The first thing that I would recommend is that you be really conscious and aware, like I already said, about what's going on and connection to your mattress. Really observe it, smell it, touch it, feel it, and keep a sleep journal, I would say, for probably about a week or so, and keep track of any symptoms that you experience before and after going to bed and waking up, or during the night. And also, keep track of how many hours per night you sleep and how good you feel during the day, and try to just take a note of that. And then the next thing that I would recommend that you do is see if there's any way that you can either spend a week sleeping on a couch, or finding a different bed to sleep on, or finding maybe even sleeping on the floor. I know personally for me, that's not an option. I really can't handle sleeping on the floor with my knees and other things. But if you can handle sleeping on the floor, that could be an option. Or, like an option could be like if you have a trip or a vacation coming up and you're going to be sleeping in a hotel or in some different beds away from home, keep track of what your sleep is like when you go and sleep on, like the beds in a hotel, and just be really observant and conscious and aware of what you feel like happens when you leave your bed at home and go to a different bed. And so that may, in and of itself, may really give you some good ideas about, is your bed really one of the sources or causes of your pain or of your autoimmune challenges because of the toxins and things that are happening in your bed. So now I would like to explain to you a little bit about the bed that I chose to switch to and why I chose to switch to it. This is not an affiliate or a sponsorship or commercial or anything like that. This just happens to be the bed that I got. And there are other options out there that are healthier for you as well. You don't necessarily have to get this one. This is just what I got. And I got the Birch Living bed from birchliving.com. And there are a couple different options. I got the kind that was a little bit more of the premium side, but there are ones that are a little bit less so. And this particular bed has a ton of different certifications. So they're Green Guard certified, eco-friendly, sustainable. They're made of birch wool here in the US with natural latex and cashmere, guaranteed to be non-toxic, so they don't have any of those VOCs, they don't have any off-gassing. They also are what are considered a fair trade certified factory. So, they just have a lot to be admired about it, and a lot of really good things about it. And they're also made from organic cotton as well. And they also offer a 25-year warranty, which if you have taken a look at the warranties on a lot of beds, that is really unusual. And currently, as of right now, they're also offering 0% financing. And they also offer you a 100-night sleep trial, so you can try it in your home for 100 nights and then return it if it doesn't make an impact on your overall health and well-being. And a lot of times there's different specials that they have, different options. You'd have to go to their website at birchliving.com to check it out. I also got the pillows, and then I also use the Carry Loha bamboo blankets and sheets, and those have been really life-changing as well. Those are definitely more on the pricey side, but I feel like it's really hard to put a good price really on high quality sleep. And so, if this isn't a problem that you have, I'm going to assume that you haven't continued listening this far. But the reality is that if you are having sleep problems, then something that you may need to consider is that your mattress may be the source of those problems, and you may need to fix it and switch it and see what you can do to make those changes. So anyhow, I have to say I have really, really loved this bed. I'm coming up on my annual physical pretty soon. I haven't had it yet as of the date of this recording, so I'm not really sure, what impact having that has made on my Hashimoto's and my autoimmune condition, but I look forward to finding out. So anyhow, this isn't, like I said, going to be a super long episode, but just wanted to share this information with you, have you reconsider, again, are the toxins in your mattress and bed part of the cause of your autoimmune condition? And if so, this is something you definitely want to research further. As always, if you would like to have a free consultation with me, the link will be in the show notes, but it's annalaurabrown.com/application. I do hope that you will reach out and let's have a chat. Also, I have a series of autoimmune tracking journal worksheets that I put up on Etsy recently that will include the link in the show notes to those as well. I feel like those can be really, really helpful for tracking your sleep, your diet, your self-care, all different kinds of things to help assist you in the autoimmune healing journey. So I hope you'll take a look at that. Anyhow, take care. Have a great one. Until the next time on the next episode of the Autoimmune Rehab Podcast.